warm welcome to everyone who has just joined us. And welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a space where the right message finds you. And now, let me show you the wheel of wisdom through which the right message is going to find you. So, give me a second to open our beautiful wheel. So, here is our beautiful wheel. And as you can see, this wheel contains the name of 50 plus books that I have read over the past 10 years of my life. And what we are going to do now, what I invite you to do now, is to take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need guidance on right now? And see if something emerges for you. So take a moment to ask yourself that question until I read the comments. Susan says, "Good morning, just joining." Good morning, Susan. Welcome to the space. It's nice to have you here back again. David says, "Yes, and almost every live." Okay, I went into that. Soothing voice, okay. David says, "Yes, and almost every live is not in sync with the video and audio. There is a lot of problems, but we are still here." Because I guess the space, not just this space, like not just this live, but yeah, this app in general has a lot of, lots to offer. And it has been there for, I think, a lot of difficult moments that people have faced, including me, including for me. So yeah, we can maybe hang around until they figure it out because, from what I know, they also have a very small team. So it's very difficult for them also to, figure out this technical stuff and everything. So yeah, that is very kind of you. Bart says, "Hi Anisha, greetings from India." Hi Bart, welcome to the space. You are just in time for our first reading today. So I hope by now you guys have thought of something that you guys need guidance on. And now holding that in your awareness. And if nothing specific is coming to your mind, you can just hold a beautiful wish that may everyone present here receives the message that is for their highest good. So, holding either of those things, a specific question or this beautiful wish in your heart as we spin the wheel. Mhm. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is The Here and Now Habit, a guide to the present moment by Hugh Byrne. So let's cultivate a here and now habit because I think we all need it. We are too distracted these days and we rarely are in the present moment. So, this is our beautiful book. And now let me choose some numbers so that we guys, we all can play a game together. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, done. So, my dear ones, in a moment from now, I'm going to share with you guys two numbers between which I want you guys to choose a number. And I suck at multitasking. I'm like, what I'm saying, I'm writing that. So, yeah, I think I need to do one thing at a time only. So, let me first give the instructions and then I will, you know, drop the numbers. So, yeah, so you guys, I will share with you guys two numbers between which I would invite you guys to choose. And then you just share the number that pops up first in your head in the comments, and I will go through all your comments and then pick one number that my intuition is feeling called to. Okay? So, the numbers between which I want you guys to choose are 17 to 142. Here you go. So, yeah, share the number that you feel called to in the comments. Oh, line was quick. Thank you, Line. Thank you, David. And if I'm mispronouncing your names, feel free to correct me, okay? Thank you, B. Oh, what a cute name. Thank you, Part. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Susan, for choosing the numbers. We have a lot of double numbers today. Interesting. And Angel dropped a number. Huh, okay, we have a lot of angel numbers today. Thank you, Jessica. Anyone else who feels called to share a number and receive a reading? Mm, okay, then let's go with the numbers that are here. And let me choose one randomly based on my intuition. So let us go with page number. I'm feeling called towards two numbers. Okay, let's go with page number 142 first. Thank you, David, for sharing a number with all of us. Okay, and that was the last page. Okay. I was like, okay, that's what is open. I don't even need to scroll. So, the author has shared few questions, few reflection questions for us. And here they are. So, the author says, you can begin by bringing awareness and a spirit of inquiry or the quality of curiosity to what you believe. So, so think about any belief that you hold about yourself, about other people, about life, you know. So, whatever belief you hold, so think of any one belief that you want to examine right now, that you want to reflect on, that you want to decide, do I want to continue believing this, or do I want to, or am I open to, changing it a little bit if needed, if that's what is right for you. So bring to your mind, you all of you can do this. All of you can do this practice. So bring to your mind one belief that you have about yourself, about other people, maybe about yourself that might come very easily. So you can think about I am and see what is the word that comes up next to you. So that might be a belief about yourself. Like I am good enough. I am unworthy. So both. Maybe pick a negative one for this, because if it is a positive one, it might be serving you right now. So yeah, okay. Press the heart button to let me know when you have thought of something so we can move on to the second step. So think about a belief that you hold, maybe about yourself. Okay, we have a heart. So that was step one. Now we are going to ask ourselves some questions. The first question is this belief true? So, is this belief 100% true? Is this belief true at every point of your life? Was this belief true at every point of your life? Is this belief true in every situation of your life, in every situation, every circumstances? For example, a very simple belief like I am a shy person, okay? Now, this belief might not have been true when you were younger. Maybe you were very talkative then, or maybe that is not true in every situation. Like, maybe you are shy when you are in social, crowded areas, but when you are with your best friend, you are the most, you know, like talkative person, or when you are in your in the spaces that feels safe, you want to be express you want to express yourself. So yeah, it is not true in every situation. So like that, is your belief true? Most of the times people answer to this question as yes, because since it is a belief, it might be very rigidly held, and you might have gathered a lot of evidence to support that belief. And all of that might have happened because of something called as self-fulfilling prophecy, which means that if you believe something, you behave in a way that end up supporting that belief in the first place, that you had in the first place. So very quick summary of that. um, so yeah, most of the people say it is true, but still, just asking ourselves this question might open certain doors. So, yeah. And before I move on to the second question, I do want to share this particular resource where I have shared more about this self fulfilling prophecy, what it is, how it has been shaping your life, shaping your beliefs, and if you were not able to find a belief when I asked you to in the first step, then you can go through the techniques here so that you find the beliefs that you hold. Okay, so this resource might help you with that. So we did the first step. We asked ourselves the first question, which is this belief true? Okay. Now the second question is, am I acting in ways that are based on assumptions that lead to harm to others or myself? So a basic simplified question from that is, when I believe this belief, do I act in ways that harm anyone else or that harm me? Like we do this self sabotage, um, become the obstacle in our own path. We some people have this fear of success, so we inevitably, you know, even if we don't want to harm ourselves, but believing that belief. So when you believe that belief that I am, for example, incompetent, okay, when you believe it, how do you act? Do you act in ways that harm other people or yourself? Because if you do, then you need to drop this belief. It is a limiting belief. So you need to drop it. That is how we decide, which one to drop it. One of those criterias. So, okay, that is our second question. Now, the third is, does this belief or action, when you are believing that belief, leads to well being or does it lead to harm? Okay, so I think this question should have come first and then the second one. But, anyways, so we are just simply asking that when I believe this belief, do you know is it even also, is it even causing me emotional harm? Like, how does it make me feel to believe this belief? Do I feel empowered, confident, or do I feel like um I don't know, disappointed in myself, helpless, sad, angry? If you are believing something about other people or yourself also, you can be angry at yourself. So yeah, so when I believe this belief, does it cause harm or does it lead to well being? Does it cause harm to other people or myself? Does it lead to well being of other people or myself? Because if I believe, like, if I believe something like most people, like everyone has, or most people, 99% of the people are like really good at, like they have this basic goodness. Despite what they do, they have this basic goodness within them. So if I believe this, I might be more inclined to be more helping, more kind, instead of ignoring people, being rude. So it also leads to well-being of other people if I believe this about them. Okay, so is this belief leading to well-being or harm of others and myself? That was the second question. So these are like, if I sum the second and third one into one, because it is basically one, at least in, the therapeutic approach of CBT and ACT. So we can say like both of these beliefs, both of these questions are rooted in these therapeutic approach. The first one was, is this belief true? The second one was, is it leading to well-being or harm? So if it is not true, or if it is leading to harm to others or yourself, then it is a limiting belief and you need to drop that belief. And for that, there are two ways. One is to challenge those beliefs, just like we did in this term. Like, is it true? Like, we apply certain techniques which include these two questions because it helps us, see, do I want to continue with these beliefs or not? And when we gather evidence against them, it just help us let go of these beliefs. So the first approach is basically challenging those beliefs, which is rooted in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And the second one is um, not fighting with the beliefs or thoughts like we did in today's practice, which pros. But yeah, anyways, so which is basically using diffusion techniques, noticing that this thought is not leading to well-being, this belief is not causing, well-being, it is leading to harm, and then you use any diffusion technique to let it go. I have recorded, I think, two diffusion techniques before, and this was the third one. And I'm going to release more, actually, more of the diffusion techniques for thoughts. So yeah, so you can find them on my profile. Let me share it where it is not there right now, but it will appear there when I just submit them. Uh, so yeah, okay. Yeah, so you will find the second way to deal with your beliefs, to change your beliefs, by going to my profile in the home section. Okay, when you scroll down, 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 down. Okay, so you will see these playlists, and there at the bottom, I have added a new playlist here which says therapy tools and techniques. So I will add those diffusion techniques here. So every time you have a belief, you can practice them and just maybe choose one of your favorites and do that every time you notice that, okay, this is my belief that is overpowering me right now, or I'm having a limiting belief. The moment you realize that, you can practice those techniques. And for the first one, I already have a resource for that, which is how you can challenge your limiting beliefs or even your thoughts. The techniques for that is the same. And it also includes the two questions that we covered today. And the name of that course is Transform Your Negative Thoughts and Master Healthy Thinking using CBT. So it includes all the cognitive techniques, all the thinking techniques to overcome, to challenge those beliefs so that you can change them. You can let go of those limiting beliefs that you have been holding that are not serving you. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to share, and that was our reading. Let me know, dear David, if if this reading resonated with you, if this is something that you needed, or even if it is not, you can share that as well. And if it resonated with anyone else, or if you want to share something in the comments regarding the reading, you can do that in the comments. And by the way, if you really struggle with negative thoughts, then apart from that, playlist that I've shared before, which is therapy tools and techniques. I have a specific playlist dedicated to negative thoughts, which says little reminders for you. So in this, I have like 3 to 5 minute tracks on the most common negative thoughts. I have already have like 10 in them, and then 10 more are coming in this month and the next month. So yeah, so you can check it out if that is something that you really struggle with. And yeah, and here's the one that got released, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. I think David might not be here right now. So let me move on to our second reading for today. Um, so let us spin the wheel again and see which book wants to guide us now. So holding whatever you need guidance on in your mind as we spin. Okay. So the book name is The Pocket Pema Chödrön. So she is a very famous spiritual teacher, and this book is basically a collection of her teachings. So let me open it and let's see what wants to come into our world from her teachings. Um, David says, yes, definitely. Thank you. I have a condition that causes chronic depression, so I'm full of negative thoughts. Back to you, David. It is hard to have a mind filled with depressive thoughts, feeling that helplessness, worthlessness, all of that. And not the illness part, but yeah, I understand the depressive part from my own experience. And that is why, I started, sorry, that is why I decided to start this, thing that I mentioned called Little Reminders for You. Maybe I am in a way creating that for myself so that I never go into that spiral or when I'm feeling low. Because, yeah, because it is hard to live with your mind at that time. And yeah, I think the one of the most common thoughts that I had at that moment was like, I'm a burden to others or like regarding my future and stuff like that. So I was like, so when this idea came to me for the series, I was like, I want to include every single thought that I had, that my clients have had, every single of those thoughts. And I want to create something so that anyone who is feeling that way, whose mind is saying those things, they can click and they can just listen and that track, soothes them, it reassures them, and it shifts their perspective in that moment very gently. So that was my intention. So I really hope, David, you do check out this because there might be something for you. And in fact, I recently I recorded a track on that particular thought only, that I'm a burden to others, that one. Um and a lot more. So yeah, I really hope that you do find something that makes you realize how precious you are. And it's all right. You don't type very fast. That's okay. I also don't type very fast. So, yeah, be as you are. Now, yeah, we were on our second book. David says, those thoughts are always towards myself, not others. I work hard to stay positive and focused, but helping other people makes me feel the happiest. That's so wonderful. That is like, one of the best ways to deal with it, because in this you find some meaning. In this you find like a purpose in a way. And it's just nice to see other people smile because of you. So yeah, you are a wonderful, beautiful soul, David, and I'm sure that every single one of the people, you know, who you have impacted, hold you close in their hearts. Okay, so now let me choose some numbers so that we can play a game together. Okay, so so my dear ones, I uh let me type. Yeah, one thing at a time. So I invite you guys to pick a number between 12 to 112. And again, no rush, take your time, see which number pops up, share it in the comments. I will go through all your numbers and pick a number intuitively. Okay, so here you go. You're welcome, David. Thank you, Jia. Thank you, Angel. Hmm, a number true to your name in a way. Ah, what a beautiful name you have. Um, thank you, Padraik. If I am mispronouncing your name, feel free to correct me. You guys have beautiful names, so I would love to pronounce them correctly. Thank you, Susan. Anyone else who feels called to share a number and pick, and receive a reading? Patrick. Is that right? If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. I won't mind. Okay. Anyone else who feels called to share a number? Thank you, David. Okay. I'm right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, seems like everyone who wanted to share a number has done so. So let me go through that choose a number. Mm. Yeah. Did you choose a number based on the number of people that were here? Just curious, because if that's not the case, then that is a magical, coincidence. Okay, nope. Then let's go with 52 because that was the number that I saw twice. So maybe that there is a message there. So thank you, Chia, for choosing the number. And let's go with page number 52. Mhm. So the heading here is gloriousness and wretchedness. Life is glorious, but life is also wretched. It is both. Appreciating the gloriousness inspires us, encourages us, cheers us up, gives us a bigger perspective, and energizes us. We feel connected, but if that's all that's happening, we get arrogant and start to look down on others. And there is a sense of making ourselves a big deal and being really serious about it, wanting it to be like that forever. The gloriousness becomes tinged by craving and addiction. On the other hand, wretchedness, life's painful aspect, softens us up considerably. Knowing pain is a very important ingredient of being there for another person. When you're feeling a lot of grief, you can look right into somebody's eyes because you feel you haven't got anything to lose. You are just there. The wretchedness humbles us and softens us. But if we were only wretched, we would all just go down the tubes. We would be so depressed, discouraged, and hopeless that we wouldn't have enough energy to eat an apple. Gloriousness and wretchedness needs each other. One inspires us, the other one softens us. They go together. Kind of reminds me of that saying, that happiness and sadness are the sides of the same coin, you know. Chia says, maybe, wow. Okay, maybe that, yeah. Wow, that's so interesting, isn't it? You know, we all just want to be happy and to be peaceful and to have all the success that we want. We want our goals to be achieved, our dreams to be fulfilled. But the author, reminds us that if that was all that, if that happened, if you had all the fame, money, success, power, that's all we want, all of those, like big, big things. So that's what people call success, right? So if we had that success, then maybe we might become arrogant. We might, you know, take all of that for granted. We might, what else was there? Yeah, we might turn into craving and addiction. We want more of that. And we start to think other people as less because I have that. I built this. Other people, they are nothing, We might think in that manner. And we also have witnessed this kind of, thinking, maybe for example, in some celebrities, or some other famous people, because that's all everyone knows. That's why I'm referring to that one particular part, which is fame that we call success. So, yeah, so that part is important, having good moments, having the glory, achieving things, fulfilling dreams, all of those parts are important. You know, they energizes us, they help us keep going and all of that things. And the other part, which is the challenging parts, the difficult parts of our life. I love how, David just before a few moments shared about how he focuses on helping other people. And that's what, the author shares that until and unless we have experienced suffering ourselves, we are not able to really relate, empathize, not that kind of a suffering, but any suffering in that manner, until and unless we have known suffering or pain, we can't truly relate or be there for other person in a way. So that suffering that we don't want in our life actually softens our heart, opens our heart to the world, and we can use that experience of suffering to into some positive direction, like helping others, because just like we don't want to feel that suffering, we know that other people also do not want to feel suffering, even if it is a different kind of suffering, right? So that is a beautiful aspect that we forget when it comes to the challenging times, the um the difficult times, and the other one that we also the other silver lining that offers is, you know realizing our own strength, our own ability, because our minds are often doubting ourselves. So in those times, we realize, okay, I can handle all of this. I never thought that I could, but I did. So kind of like, yeah, the yin and yang that just appeared. Exactly. And we also don't want only that. We also don't want only the negative times. Otherwise, we would not be able to focus on anything else, right? It would be a heavy burden that we are carrying. So both are equally important. Both are a part of life. So if you're going through a hard time, maybe this is what you needed to hear today. So Chia says, I saw it as going on your healing journey sometimes reveals the unhealed parts of others around you. Yeah, that is an interesting take. And the importance of non judgment when that happens and compassion instead. Exactly. Thank you, Chia, for putting it into more practical words, and adding a different perspective to it as well. That is just so beautiful. And yeah, it leads to non judgment. Compassion and non judgment is something that naturally emerges once we have experienced suffering, because now we know that it's a normal thing that a human being go through, so there's nothing to judge them about. Or maybe they are not aware of that part yet. Maybe they made some mistake, and we know that I have also made some mistakes before. I've also hurt people before, intentionally, unintentionally, whatever it is. So it just, those are the beautiful qualities that emerges from suffering. Kind of like the lotus in a mud, the analogy that is used. Mud we think is like dirty, or I think it grows mostly in a swamp, but the saying is lotus in the mud. So yeah, it is dirty and we think there is no life in it and all of that, and then something beautiful emerges out of it. So this is what came up when I was reading the suffering part. um David says it's like yin and yang. Life is a balance of emotions, and striving for the things we think we want doesn't necessarily bring equal happiness. It can bring disappointment and sadness instead. Exactly. Happiness and sadness, the different sides of the same coin. And it is so true. We seek after things, we run after the success, and then when we get it, we feel empty. We or we forget about it and we move on to the next thing. And I actually, okay, like instead of me speaking on it, I actually have a course that I want to share here. It is my miniest course, like a 3 lesson one. And I would invite you to check out this course, which is how to stop chasing and start living from doing to being. In the first lesson, there is a reflection on this very thing that David has shared for your own life. So you see, so you realize that whether this is true for you or whether it is not true for you, and how to move. If it isn't, if it is true that what you thought has not led to fulfillment that you wanted, then what might you do next? Um, yeah, I think I also did a live series in December 2024 around this, like how to live a more fulfilling life. And yeah, I don't have it here, but you can find it if you want to learn more about it. mm, by going to my profile, by going to the about section there. When you scroll down here, you will find that it is a free resource. So you will find all the six live recordings there. I've organized it in the form of a course, a 6-day course. Okay, so if you want to learn how you can find fulfillment, you can check out that. But if you want to reflect on your life and move from doing to being, you can check out this course that I've shared here. Ah, I have a lot of resources, and I'm glad that I've created them because I don't know, like maybe someone would need them. That's why I shared them. Because if you don't, you can simply ignore me speaking. Okay. um, David says sometimes silver lining is only a reflection of the cloud around it. So I try to focus on the blue sky instead. Interesting. Interesting perspective. That reminds me of this saying, like, this practice instead of being the sky and letting the clouds just come and pass, letting the positive or negative experiences, the white clouds and the dark, heavy gray ones, to come in your life and to pass away. But you are the sky, you can hold everything, you have immense space, immense capacity to hold anything that comes your way. So, yeah, thank you, David, for giving it a nice turn to that saying. I loved it. Ah, okay. Hmm. Maybe it's too much, but there's one more resource that is popping in my head, and I'm going to share it because when I don't say the things that comes to my mind, universe finds a way for that to come forward in the space somehow, whether it is someone else says, something around that. So, the resource that I wanted to share was based on Chia's comment, which was on non-judgment. So, and compassion. So, I have, two videos now that Insight Timer has launched its feature. So, I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So, I have like two videos on that. One is called, okay, let me show you. So, you can open my profile, you go to the videos section there, or you will find those videos here, or you can go again on the home page, you can go to the playlist here, and I mentioned about the therapy techniques and tools playlist. So you go to that, and there I have released this self compassion break. So you can, if you want to cultivate this quality of compassion, I have included a very interesting question, a very helpful, effective question that you can ask yourself to become, more self compassionate. And you can do this. Okay, there are two of me. You can do this multiple times during a day. It is like a very it would take only 5 seconds to do that. It is a 5 minute practice, but once you learn it, it would take like 5 seconds. And the second one that I wanted to share was this on non-judgment. So there was this other video that I released, and it was a technique from the therapy which is called DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. And in this there is skill of non-judgmentalness. So I created a track on that, which is called judging yourself. Try this DBT technique to let go of your self judgments. So yeah, you can check out that as well. Both of these are videos, and I recorded them in the live itself. So that's where I shared, like, you can save this playlist called therapy tools and techniques on my profile, so that you know because I will guide one technique in every live. So you will have like 100 techniques by the end of the season because I started this when the season 3 started. And I think this is episode number 209, I think. Yeah, so 9 episodes, so 9 techniques would be there definitely. Okay. So I guess that's it for this live. We have done our two readings. We have stayed over 1 hour. So it is okay, I missed it. Thank you, Edward, for all those lovely hearts in the space. Thank you for bringing in your loving presence. And before I end the live, I want to share two things with you guys. Today I'm sharing a lot of stuff. Usually, sometimes I don't share anything, but today, since things are coming up, I want to share them. And this is my usual rounding up, like wrapping up this live. Thank you, David, for this kind donation. I so appreciate your support. It really means a lot to see you coming back to this space again and again and see you contributing. Thank you for supporting my work, for allowing me to do this, to do these lives, to create more resources. And yeah, I just hope that something beautiful happens for you today, that makes you smile, that okay, not just smile, that makes you feel awe, this wonder of life. So yeah, that is my wish for you. Um, okay, so the thing that I wanted to share with you guys was that if you want a summary of the readings that we have done up until now, like the name of the books that we read through, the readings, the exact readings that I read, and the name of the practice that I did, then you can find the summary. Again, you can go to my profile. When you scroll down, I've already showed you where the playlists are. So when you scroll down at the bottom, you will see this group, which is called World of Wisdom. So you can join this group with 134 other beautiful beings. And I will share within like 10-15 minutes of this live ending. I will share the summary in that group, and you can go through all the past summaries as well. There are 208 summaries. So, yeah, so that is one thing that I wanted to share with you in case you missed the first reading or you want to actually read it because different people um, processes information in different ways. So this was just auditory. So if you want to see it, you can see it in the summary section. And the second thing that I wanted to share was with you was that if you found this live valuable, if you found my energy or what I offer, or of some help, then I invite you to support me, to support my work. And a simple way you can do that is to listen to my content. That's it. I just am creating these resources for you guys, and it would mean a lot for me if you actually go through them and see if you find something that resonates. So the two places where I have organized all of my content is the first place on the home section when you go to the playlist. So there are like 5 playlists that I have created for you guys. This is mindfulness meditation challenge. All of the tracks here are free. This is nervous system regulation tools and techniques. So I have like 17 techniques, 17 tracks here. I'm going to add many more, so a total of 100. And I'm going to change the title of them so you know which when to practice which techniques. So anytime you're feeling dysregulated, anytime you're feeling overwhelmed, anytime you're feeling like uh, a very low energy, you can simply open this playlist and check out the particular technique that is designed for your current state, because you don't want to practice a down regulating technique when you're already feeling low, and an up regulating technique when you're already feeling high energy emotion like anxiety, anger, and all of that. So yeah, um you can save the playlist so that you have all the techniques in one place. Then there is this, which is called Wheel of Wisdom, pick a meditation. So if you want to practice strengthening your connection with your intuition, like we do here, where I ask you guys to pick a number. So this is for that. You can just you can open this playlist, play the game here, and find the meditation that wanted to come through for you today. So this basically contains all the season 1 meditations. Not all, more are coming. But yeah, there are enough, like 63. And all of them are free, so you can like check them even if you don't have premium. Then there is little reminders for you. This is for anyone who is having negative thoughts. So you can open it, see which negative thought you're having. If you find your one, the one that you're having, you can listen to that. And the final one, therapy tools and techniques. So in the season 3, I'm sharing one technique in each live as a guided practice. So you can just open this, see if this is the problem that I'm going through, open it, apply the technique, and I hope you will find relief. So yeah, that's it's one place where you can find all of my stuff. The second place is the courses section. So you will find all of my 7 courses here related to thoughts and negative thoughts. I'm not going to go deep into them. I'm already speaking a lot. And the final place, if you want to know more about me or my other offerings, you can just go to my profile in the About section. You can read more about me, or you can scroll down and check this out here. So, yeah, that's it. That's everything that I have to offer And I hope you do find something that you need right now, because that is my intention, to provide you the right guidance or support when you need it most, at the right time. So, David says, I have been listening and sharing with my friends who also use the app but aren't able to join the lives. Thank you. Thank you so much, David, for, sharing it. I am so, so very grateful, for all your support. That means a lot to me. And, um, okay, so you mean like are not able to join lives in general, or my lives because the timing and stuff? Like, is there any problem, with joining the lives or stuff? I'm not. So yeah, I wanted to. Maybe you can clarify that more if you feel called. David says it means a lot to be here. Thank you. It definitely means a lot to me to have you here. Okay, the timing issue. Okay, got it. um, let's see. Regan says thank you. You're welcome, Regan. Thank you for being here and staying till the end. It means a lot. Angel says appreciate you. Appreciate you being here, Angel, and saying that. Do you do personal sessions? Yes, so I do. Yeah, I do them. You can check more about it. I cannot talk about it. If you want to know, you can check more about it again by going to the About section, and at the bottom, you will see this. And here you can find more about it. Right now, like I usually have more, timings available, but right now, something is going on in my family health wise. So, because of that, I have like paused, the personal sessions for now. So, yeah, so if it is like, maybe there might be only one time available there, but you can, if that is not suitable, you can check in a moment, like maybe after 2 weeks, then you will find more slots. Or you can just message me. You can message me. Okay, let me show you, and I will let you know when they became available. Okay, you can go to my profile, Angel, and you can, how do we message? Okay, I forgot. I think the icons changed. Give me a second to just figure out how we can message a teacher. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I just opened this another teacher's profile. So you can just go to three dots, click here, and there would be a message teacher option, and you can message me, and I will, let you know if more slots becomes available. Okay. Or you can drop an email. You will find everything in that about section. Okay. So yeah. I am honored that you would like to work with me personally. That means a lot. And I hope to, you know, provide you whatever you need in that session. So, looking forward to your message. Eric says, what does Wheel of Wisdom mean? Um, Nothing in specifically, basically, it's just a wheel that chooses the book for us and it delivers us the wisdom. That is the name that just popped in my head when I was like, okay, what should I name these lives? So, yeah, I went with that. And then it summarized to a beautiful word like wow. So, yeah, it was like fun. So, the whole like I don't know, vibe or something is like more fun and wisdom, like gaining wisdom in a fun way, not in a boring or a strict or serious way. So yeah, that's all that is about, Eric. I hope that I answered your question. Okay, Eric likes the answer. Wonderful. David says, my friend is a full-time caregiver. Wow, you are connected to more beautiful souls who are, offering so much. Huh. So yeah, I want to say to your friend, thank you for taking care of other human beings, for being another kind person on this earth. And yeah, you guys are really making a difference, you, your friend, and everyone. Eric says, I thought it was something about tarot. Um, yeah, so no, it is not about tarot. it's in a way like, just like the cards come up. So we are relying more on intuition in this way, in this particular wheel, where the wheel chooses a book and then we randomly do, so once a book is chosen, I open the book and I share some numbers, and you guys tune into your intuition and pick a number. So this way you develop like you strengthen your connection with your intuition, which is already there, always there, and you will start to trust your inner wisdom more. So you do that, and then once you share the numbers, I, turn into my intuition and I ask which number to go with, and then the number pops up. So it's more of a collective thing that we do together, and we all are strengthening our connection to our intuition, the inner wisdom that we all have. So yeah, that is what the wheel of wisdom is about, Eric. I hope that that clears it up more. Yeah, exactly, Eric says it's more random and fun and intuitive, not like magic. No, not like magic, but miraculous. Yeah, exactly. You got the vibe. Random, fun, intuitive. That's it. Okay, guys. So I think now we should end the live. It is way over 1 hour, and usually I used to do like the lives for like 1 hour 30 minutes, and I used to do them regularly on alternate days. But hmm, I decided to take like a more of a pause in April. I rarely did a live in April, and in May, um, I have been trying to do them on alternate days, and I have been doing them, I think. Uh, so yeah, that is what usually happens. But right now, something like a lot of chaos is going on in my life, so that's why I have not been able to show up as consistently in the same way. But I will. So yeah, if you are new, I wanted to share that with you so that you know that this is going to be a consistent thing and you can come back. Right now, I have not scheduled my next live, but it would be like day after tomorrow. I will schedule it and it will appear on my profile. So if you don't follow me, you can follow me so that you get notified when that live comes up or when another of the resources drops in for you guys. Okay. Eric says, much care. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. So, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for being here, for spending your precious time with me, for having all this lovely interaction with me. I bow down to the divine within you all. May you all be safe. May you all be healthy. May you all be happy. May you all live with ease. Bye bye, guys. I will see you day after tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye. Have a lovely day and night. Namaste, David.